where we have some more allegations. Remember that Occupy IEBC is something that the Code Coalition has insisted is going to go on until the commissioners leave office.
Yes, that is right, certainly. So you have to give it to the opposition. They've been very adamant. They've been very insistent. You remember just the other week, a couple of weeks ago, a team of Jubilee MPs went to court to seek for injunctions to stop these demonstrations. Well, initially, the court brigade did not file papers in response, and orders were given out stopping them from participating in such sitting. But eventually, I think they were able to get their lawyers. They went for an inter-parties hearing, and those orders were lifted. They were allowed to demonstrate to the extent that they did not participate in violence.
Right.
Well, they kept their word. They were there yesterday. The Code Brigade, led by the three principals, were able to have a mini political rally there. Their members were addressed, but subsequently after that, tear gas. Yeah.
Well, according to the report that Chris Nairo filed yesterday,
yes.
It looked like after the principals had finished addressing, there were some people who started pelting the police with stones.
Yes.
And of course, as a result, any smell of violence.
Yes.
Because again, evidently, you know, the police had come armed to the teeth.
Certainly.
With all sorts of manner of vehicles. I don't know if they were, you know, showcasing them or it was a test.
You could see the cachet of the anti-riot gear that the Kenya police had. And you remember a while back, the Inspector General, Mr. Boynet, had actually said that a lot of money had been put in. They have the water spray system. They have the anti-riot gear for the AP. So I think they were armed to teeth, and it was a good ground for them to test their equipment.
Their equipment.
Yeah, and indeed on social media there was a joke that the police were actually inviting the Code Brigade to come out in large numbers so that they could test.
They can test the equipment. Well,
yes.
Testing they did, because at some point I even saw one of those trucks that, you know, spray water.
Yes.
They were spraying water. I'm not sure whether they were spraying to clean the street, because I didn't seem to see anybody there. But, you know, for one reason or the other, I think they were eager to, you know, try and see whether
Certainly.
they can use
and
that. But anyway,
this was the first time that Kenya is using a water spray.
Right.
For demonstrations.
For demonstrations.
Yeah.
All right. So the headlines there being Koreans hired to rig election, says Code. So some strong allegations again here that Koreans are being used by IEBC to rig the
Indeed, that's right. Those were the words of the Wiper party leader, Kalonzo Musyoka. Well, such statements, it could be very hard to substantiate. It could be true that the commission had taken some equipment to Korea for programming. It could be a valid exercise.
Right.
But still, because all this is mad in politics, it will be very hard to substantiate. Because at the end of the day, if those kits will be needed, they have to be programmed. They have to be set in working order. So indeed, it could be true that they went to Korea, but the motive remains unknown.
I guess this is where now we, members of the Fourth Estate, could come in and literally separate the politics and the facts.
Certainly.
Because it is true, like you say, they could have gone to Korea for genuine reasons.
Yes.
But when it's put that way, of course, we are left thinking what...
Certainly. And the onus also is on the commission to be more willing to divulge such information. They should give out information. This is our strategy. This is what we are doing in preparation for the next election.